So let's give Peter a warm North Bay welcome.
Folks, it gives me great pleasure, as I said when I first got off the train here, to be welcomed by the warm people of Northern Ontario who know a couple of things. One is how to respond to people, how to be warm, and two is this is our way of life. We're in charge of our way of life. We'll make the decisions on our way of life. Nobody else will do that for us.
Right.
Our message is simple. There are two key points that we're bringing across down the ride. I wanted to identify everybody that the ride was just fabulous. It was fantastic. Each stop had people in it from around the north, both employees and people who were concerned, were raucous, who were telling us their issues around the ONTC, and definitely identifying that they're not accepting this divestiture in no way, shape, or form either. So that inspiration is good for mayors like us as well, because this is a hard job for us to do. We have so many other issues that we're managing and working with as mayors and trying to keep under control. This has become a priority. It's unprecedented for mayors of this magnitude to come en masse and do what we're doing. It's unprecedented for mayors to be challenging the provincial government in the way that we are. You know, when we were talking about this issue right up front, it became pretty clear that there was no other way to deal with this. This is not a time for us to worry about bridges at this point. We have to worry about our necks being in a guillotine and our whole way of life here being a threat. This divestiture is the straw that broke the camel's back. And we're not prepared to take our foot off the gas at this point. This is something that we need to push forward. And we need to push forward because it's bad for Northern Ontario. It's not good to privatize the ONTC. Northern Ontario, 90% of the provincial landmass exists north of Highway 17 with only 7% of the population. It's our way of life. It's a rural way of life. It requires public support. There's no way private sector industry can run on a compromise for that to happen. When we privatize things like the ONTC, that's a signal from the government, that's a clear policy that they're not supporting the magnitude and the value of rail in Northern Ontario. They're going to give it to the private sector, which will do what they do, and that's not a bad thing. The private sector will minimize, they'll be cost efficient, they'll maintain the rail bed, and at the same time, we will lose the magnitude of this rail. It's not a time for the province to be backing away and divesting from something as critical as rail in Northern Ontario. It's a time for the province to be involved, to recognize that we need to enhance the rail. They need to find the innovations, the creativity, and help people learn how to use the rail, and recognize that rail from an environmental standpoint and from an economic standpoint is a huge part of the future in Northern Ontario. We cannot let our rail continue to be divested and eroded away where we have nothing but the highway to rely on. We had a great screening from the producer Dan Nystedt, who's here from Sault Ste. Marie, on his film DERAILED, The National Dream. And if you haven't had a chance to see this screening, folks, watch it. It's fabulous. It gives you a great insight on just how critical and integral the rail is to who we are as a people, and just how eroded the rail has become. And the fact of the matter is, we invest billions of dollars in road. We're not investing hardly any money in rail. It doesn't make any sense to me or the mayors in this group that the province will go down this road having purported to be the great environmentalists when you're looking at having rail represent 8 times more efficiency than what trucks do on the road. For every ton of product that's transported on the highway or transported all together, for every ton, that same amount